Hello, this is Samsai again and welcome back to Quern Undying Thoughts. So last time we made some progress, we got a little bit further, we figured out a couple of puzzles, and now we are going to figure out a couple more. Because that's pretty much what this game is all about. So let's just jump into the game and let's see if we can figure out some of these puzzles and, you know, maybe make even more progress, because progress is good. Okay, there we go, now we're back, and I'm just making sure that my laptop is where it's supposed to be, perfect. Okay, I just made sure that my laptop was ready in case I would need to, you know, get some help from the ever helpful walkthrough. Anyway, as you might notice, the game is a little bit smoother now. And that's because my recording setup has been improved somewhat. So the game is not going to run as poorly as it did. But it's still dropping some frames here and there. Anyway, this is where we were last time, and this is basically what we were. This is basically what we're going to have to figure out. So yeah, obviously that goes there, and yeah, that's pretty much as we know at this point, which is not necessarily all that great. Means that we still have quite a bit of stuff to figure out. But yes, this is basically, I think, what we are going to have to figure out next. And I still haven't quite figured out what all of these puzzles pretty much have some sort of hints. There isn't really a single puzzle here that requires you to figure stuff out from just, you know, scratch. Usually there is some sort of a hint somewhere, and this is, I believe, like, this is pretty much the hint I think we're going to have to go with. So we have an arrow going that way, so I'm guessing this is some sort of an order. So it's like this, like this, like this, like that. Not sure what that means. I'm pretty sure I also saw a similar thing right here. Yep, these ones. So like that. And I'm guessing this just closes the... Yep, this closes the chest. We don't need that. We need the chest to be open. And I think I have these in my notes. Yep, I do. I took these notes here last time, so those notes should be should maybe help us a little bit, at least when it comes to figuring out maybe that puzzle there. I'm not quite sure if that's the connection. Yeah, there was nothing here. I'm pretty sure I have explored every area I currently have access to. But these look very similar to these. So could these be, like, this is an order. Like this, this, this. And then we have this. So is there a connection? I wish I could, like, overlay these. So I'm going to guess that this is the order we're supposed to go in. And we have these here, don't we? I think that's kind of like the one here. No, actually, that's and that those have these kinds of, because none of these walls here have like multiple lines. They have a single line. Yeah, they have a single line, but these have multiple lines. So. Do we have to... Okay, so the first one is like an angled one, and then there's a one that is horizontal, vertical. And then the horizontal, and then another angled one, but angled the other way around. And we can point these at two things. We can point these at two things at the same time. Well, we have to point these at two things at the same time. So I'm going to make a guess that so wait a moment. So there are 4 of these and 4 of these. So I'm guessing every time we press this, it's going to input one value into this machine, and it's going to tell us here if it's the correct one. Also, I'm sorry, there is my mother is vacuuming outside the room, and that's probably going to show up in the recording, but we cannot do anything about that, I would suppose. Okay, anyway. So if we go by the logic that this shows the order in which these must be pressed, then we should have the ones that have an angled line like that pressed first, which would be this one and this one. So that one. Okay, so the center ones, this and this. And there we go. So I'm going to make a guess and guess that this is the first one. Okay, a light lit up, that's the first one. Okay. Then we have the vertical lines. There's a vertical line here and a vertical line here. So we need to get this up a bit, and the second one needs to be exactly where it is. So for this, I need to go up a step, and that's the second one. Next one is horizontal lines. One here, one here. Okay. So one is at the top. No. Going the wrong way. And then let's go down here and press that, so that inputs that value. And the final thing is this way, and that's that and that. So the top one and this one. And let's input that value. Okay, that gives us this thing, which I'm guessing is something we put into a machinery to perhaps here. In fact, indeed, it's here. So I'm going to make a guess that this boat will take... But where can this boat take us? Like, real questions. Where can this boat take us? If I now, like, turn that thing, will the boat actually make this turn here? Because if my geometry serves me right, and I'm not the best at, you know, figuring out 3D spaces, but I don't think that boat can actually, you know, turn here. But maybe we should try it, because I don't think there is much else here. That obviously, like, that puzzle obviously got this piece, and it goes into the boat, obviously. I would just like to point out that there is still this furnace here. We haven't figured out what this does yet. I'm going to guess that, I mean, that's sort of like a... I mean, I suppose we could melt something here and it would make a shape like this. I'm not sure where that will go though. I'm just going to make, I'm going to sketch a note, just so that I know that that is there. But so far I don't really have anything at my disposal that I should be putting in that furnace. So I'm going to guess that we're going to have to jump on the boat and then figure out something else. Okay. So I just need to... Oh! Well, it's clipping a little bit, but... also, I cannot move. It's we're supposed to sit still for now. Okay, so we're going this way. Very narrow spaces, but hey, I can appreciate that. And we've crashed. Achievements unlocked, shipwrecked. I'm guessing no going back. Yeah, no going back. So we have wrecked this ship here. So I'm guessing this is where we're supposed to go because progress. And yeah, no, nothing can be done with the ship anymore. Or boat. It's not really a ship. Maybe I'm actually going to hold on to this light here. So crossing island, an area discovered. Okay. So I have this, which is either a weight or some sort of a... So I can put this on here. So that's probably important in some way. Maybe directly tied to this somehow. Ah. Okay. So, yep. It is basically an instrument. I'm going to guess that this is going to be an audio-based puzzle, and that's going to be bad because I'm very bad at those. So we have another one here. So I'm going to guess if I press this, yeah, it's going to first make that sound, and then it's going to make this sound. So this is a lower sound, and then this is a higher sound. In terms of pitch, of course. And my guess is that this is a microphone, in a way. It's probably listening to these, and we need to get the sort of the sounds correct, and then this will open. This has been broken. Hopefully that's not part of the puzzle. So we... How many of these are there? 5. So we have 2, so we need 3 more, and then we can start messing with the order. It shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, getting 5 sounds right, we can probably brute force the solution. But I'm going to see if I can figure it out, like actually figure it out, and not just you know, brute force a solution. And what is in there? That looks like another puzzle. And it's almost like a greenhouse, almost. I'm not sure if there are enough plants for that, but anyway. Alchemy lab. So this is maybe Yerv or Terv or something like that. Are these even R letters? I don't think these are even R letters. This is a completely... This is almost like reading Russian. Almost makes sense, but not at all. Oh, but look at this. This is potentially important. I'm going to make a sketch of this. So I'm going to guess that we're making a potion. So 1 times this, 1 times this, 2 times this, 1 times this, 1 times 1 times 2 times. Are these different to... These are powders, I would guess. Green powder, white powder, yellow powder. We don't have any of this, which is most likely a problem because we would need that. That's the thing that looks like a taxi. Yeah, we would need one of this. Maybe this here tells us how to make this. Maybe. We need more items. Is this something? Oh! Wait. Okay, I think I understand. That was a liquid that can melt these transparent crystals. Also, that that shadow there is a little bit odd. Okay, I think it's a shadow. Yeah, that might be a graphical glitch. Okay, we figured out another thing. So I'm going to make a sketch, and I'm just going to write in that sketch liquid that melts. Not steel beams, but transparent crystals. So that way I know that that is basically the solution for how to get one of those key thingies. It's to make that thing and then pour it onto the transparent crystal back there on the other island. Oh, I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But there are 5 of these. So I'm going to guess that this is related to the audio puzzle, and we have one of these here. So I'm going to guess that this basically tells us what the pitch is going to have to be for each one of these. So it's going to go from middle to up to lowest to highest to sort of down. There's another one. We need one more. Oh. What is this? Oh, it's a vial. Okay.
I hope you enjoyed the ride. Unfortunately, the boat was only designed to get you here. This is the place where I dive deeper into learning about the vegetation of the island. Though herbology and chemistry were far from my original expertise, by studying the experiments, recipes, and manuscripts of the Dulmarians, I had everything I needed to master these arts. At the time, I thought the opportunity this place offered me was a blessing. I was a wanderer back then, who always enjoyed being alone. I've never been a people person. Though I was undoubtedly on my own, sometimes I had the strange feeling that someone or something was watching me.
Learn each field of study according to its kind. So, generatim discite holtes or something like that. I don't know. I probably said this already, but I don't know Latin. Okay, so we have another apparatus. I'm going to guess that this is maybe the way we are going to make our potion. I would guess that we need to get the proper items though before we can do anything with this. But yeah, we can. So I'm going to guess that this is the way we are going to. Can I actually? So I can put the vial in here. Obviously this is empty. And this is what we would need for... I'm guessing this is the recipe for this. I'm going to call it acid for now, because I don't know how these things work. So, recipe for the acid that destroys transparent crystals. I'm going to guess that this is indeed the recipe for this, for whatever this liquid was. Sadly, I completely lost this liquid, so yeah, that's not useful anymore. Oh, here's the last piece for one of these puzzles. I'm going to guess that we are going to have to get some of this stuff. Also, I'm going to take my vial back. Oh, well, I already have it. And we would probably mix this up here. I'm going to guess that's how things are going to go. Let me see if I can get back this way, however. There's one more of these here. Okay, and I cannot get through. So I'm going to be stuck with these puzzle pieces until I have all of this stuff figured out, I'm guessing. Well, the next piece of the puzzle is, I would say, the audio puzzle. Because I cannot figure out any of that stuff there yet. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of these now. Okay. And my notes say this is the order they're supposed to go in. So I'm guessing the next part of this puzzle... Wait. How many of these do I actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 of these. So that means I have as many of these as I do these pitches here. Okay, this is going to be really, really difficult. Okay, I guess the first part of figuring out this puzzle is figuring out the highest note, the lowest note. And that will allow us to figure out the rest, I suppose. So let's figure out the lowest note. This is my first guess. That's actually a fairly high note. How about this? Okay, that's a very low note. Okay, I'm going to keep that as a reference. And then I'm going to test these other ones. So, lowest. That's higher. Sadly, I don't really have the ear for this. It maybe says something that the only instrument I play is bass. How about this? Okay, that's lower. So I'm guessing that's the lowest. And this is the second lowest, but we need to test that, so... Which ones have I not tested? I have tested that. I haven't tested any of these small ones. Okay, that's a very high note. Okay, I'm going to guess that this is the lowest. The problem is that these are not easily marked. It's their shape that matters, I suppose. Okay, now we need to find the highest. Okay, so this one is the lowest. I might actually make a sketch of that and just make sure that I know that this is the lowest. And then I need to go to my notes and lowest note. Now let's find the highest. I'm going to guess that it's probably one of these small ones. So let's test these two. Okay, that's a high note. Good. Okay, that's a very high note. How about this? That's a low note. Okay, I'm going to guess that this is the highest note. Maybe I should test it more. Have I just tested this one yet? Okay, yeah, that's also a high note, but not as high. At least that's what my ear tells me. Yep, most definitely. Okay, so this is the highest. So let's make a sketch, and I'm going to call this the highest note. this gives us a way to test these. So the first, okay, let's put these notes in their correct places at least. So the lowest note goes to the third place. This is the first one. This is second, third. So this is where the highest note, the lowest note goes, and then the highest note goes right next to this one. And we established that what did we actually establish? That this is the highest note. So it's this one. And now we get to mix with the other things here. This is how it goes, right? Empty, empty, high note, low note, high note. There we go. So now we just need to figure out, the first one is middle. It's the middle note. And then one note that is higher than the middle note. Let me just quickly check that again. And then the last one is the second lowest. So this one is going to be the second lowest, which was, I think, this. No, was it? Was it? No, that's a fairly high note, actually. So yeah, it's this is not the right one. Was it this? Yeah, that's a fairly low note. Okay. Now we need to pick two. One that is middle and one that is fairly high. Yeah, second highest and middle. But now the thing is wrong. I'm going to have to get some paper. Actually, do I have any right here? I don't, I'm going to have to get some. Okay. So, we know the lowest note, we know the highest note, and the rest we just need to figure out on paper. So, the order is, the first one we don't know, the second one we don't know, we know the third one. So I'm going to make 5 tiny squares on my paper here, so that we can figure out the order. And I'm going to draw tiny pictures of these. I suppose they are sort of vases, aren't they? And the first one is going to be the middle one. Don't know that one, we know the third one. The third one is obviously the lowest note, which is a fairly simple shape. It's a very round-ish shape. And then the highest note is right after that, and that is the thin shape. And the rest we need to just figure out. I suppose we should test them. So I'll take all of these out of the thing in it. Yeah. Okay. So the second one was supposed to be. Let me just figure out the ones that are right next to one another.